Heavenly Father, I thank you for the opportunity again to meet together as free people. I thank you, Lord, for your patience, for your love and your care for us as a nation over these many years. Lord, as we face an election that is soon upon us, I pray that you would stir our hearts to be fervent in spirit in prayer for our nation, in prayer for those that are running for office, even those that are in office at this time. I pray, Lord, that you would have mercy on our nation and that we would be called back to the principles upon which our founding fathers were led to found America. Lord, I pray for those that are in harm's way today. I pray that you would watch over them, give them wisdom, give them protection. Father, I do pray that you would be with our governing officials, that you would be with them in their decisions that they make. Lord, I pray that you would help us to support in every way we can the cause of America, that freedom ring, Lord, for the next generation. We do pray for them as well. We thank you for this time of fellowship. We thank you for the food, and we ask you bless it to our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'm just going to say I'm sorry having to sing before you eat, because you're going to be distracted all this during this song. You'll be thinking about that good food, but listen the best you can. This song, I think, depicts some of the needs we have in this country as the present administration has been less than what we want, and we're looking forward to a change. But I think this song says all that. Hope somebody will have the Romney administration, the Romney campaign, get a hold of it. Okay, it's called Let's Take America Back. What has happened to America? Where is the greatness that she knew? How could it be that a land so free could be shackled by a selfish few? The Lady Justice is weeping, the torch of freedom grows dim. Who will lift up America and make our nation great again? Let's take America back. They've had her much too long. Let's put her on the right track and give her back her song. The song of faith and freedom, the song of victory, the song our founding fathers sang when they fought to make us free. We are Americans, God gave us this great land. We are Americans, and here we take our stand. We will not be silent, and we will not be slack. We'll step up to the ballot box and take America back. Let's take America back. They drug her through the mud. Let's make America great by making America good. Let's re-establish justice, ensure tranquility. Let's fight for all the rights of man, for life and liberty. We are Americans, God gave us this great land. We are Americans, and here we take our stand. We will not be silent, and we will not be slack. We'll step up to the ballot box and take America back. Let's take America back. They stripped her wealth away. Let's put her on the right track and do our best today. Let's hope for men of courage who'll turn this thing around, who'll take the chains off enterprise and pull the barriers down. Sing with me, okay? We are Americans. God gave us this great land. We are Americans, and here we take our stand. We will not be silent, and we will not be slack. We'll step up to the ballot box and take America back. We'll step up to the ballot box and take America back.
Health and happiness. I heard of one new member, Nancy Rouse. She couldn't be here today. She joined last month, but she's a little under the weather, I think, this month. So please send Nancy our best wishes for a speedy recovery, and we hope we'll see you next month. And Ruth Templeton, where are you, Ruth? There you are, right beside Jackie. Her son Matt, who you all remember was injured several months ago in service, has had his last surgery now. I think he's had several, hasn't he? How many?
I don't know, probably over a dozen.
Oh my goodness. But they think he's had his last now, and he's in recovery mode now, so we sure are thankful for that. Any other? Suzette, do you want to come and tell us about our November tea, our membership drive that you have planned, and also the nominating committee report?
Our November meeting will be our annual membership tea, and it will be the same day as our normal meeting. It's November 19th, and it will be from noon until 1 o'clock. This year, Representative Wendy Nanny is hosting our membership tea, so it will be at her home, which is right off Pelham. What is her neighborhood?
Burnham Woods.
Burnham Woods.
It's one street past Morningside Baptist Church on your left.
Okay, it's one street past Morningside. If you're coming from
Going out to
East North Street, that area.
yeah. There's a street right beside Morningside. Don't count that. It's the next street.
It's the next street. So it's really easy to find, and there will be plenty of parking, but it's at Representative Wendy Nanny's house, November 19th. We're also going to be doing something this year. It's not really a contest, but we're going to be giving prizes for people who bring new members to our membership tea. If you bring someone who joins in November or in December, at the December meeting, we will be giving out prizes for the person. And what we're going to do this year is for every member that you bring that joins in November or December, you will get a ticket to enter into our contest, I guess. And at the December meeting, we will draw prizes. The top prize will be a gift certificate for a restaurant downtown Greenville. And for every new member that you bring, and what we're calling this year as a new member is someone who was not a member last year or this year. So they may have been a member in the past, but they haven't rejoined last year or this year. So that should be fairly easy. If you know someone that used to come and just hasn't come in a while, bring them and get them to join in November or December. So I hope everyone can come. It's a free event. Our members provide the food. So just come and have a good time, and hope to see you there.
Did you want to go ahead, Suzette, with the nominating committee report, please?
I had the privilege this year of serving on the nominating committee and was chosen as chair. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our nominating committee. Linda Garner. We had 3 members from our board of directors and then 2 members from just the club. Linda Garner, if you'll stand. Susan Brinkerhoff. Me. Donna Sisson was from our general membership, and Joanne Robinson. So let's give them a hand for being willing to serve. All right, the slate that we chose this year, our board chose the current officers, and we asked Phyllis Foster to serve again as president. Donna Gottschall, if you'll stand, Donna, to serve again as Vice President. Ruth Templeton to serve again as our Secretary. And Susan Brinkerhoff to serve as Treasurer. All right, y'all may be seated. Are there any nominations from the floor for President, for Vice President, for Secretary, for Treasurer? All right, the board moves that we accept the slate of officers for our 2013 Board of Directors. Is there a second? Second? All right, all in favor for this slate serving as our Board of Directors next year, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Congratulations. These officers will be installed at our December meeting. So I hope all of you can be there, and really we appreciate all that Phyllis and her board has done this year. And it's a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of time that you may not see, but they've done a great job, and we look forward to serving under them again next year.
Thank you very much, and it has been an honor to serve, and if any of you don't want any of us there, just step up to the plate. We'll be glad to share. We don't want to feel like we're hogging all the jobs here, so we want people to be involved. One other thing I wanted to mention to you that I was negligent in doing last month, the South Carolina Federation is having a fundraiser, and they're selling bumper stickers, and it says, "I am a free American." And the bumper stickers are $10, and then they will have a drawing for some big cash prizes, like $500 kind of cash prizes. But they want you to take up one of these packets, and I've got several of them, and it's 10 bumper stickers. So if you would like to get involved in that and sell some of these bumper stickers, please do. If you just want to buy one for yourself, that might get us through several packets right there, so let's do that. So when the meeting's over, if you'll just let me know if you want a bumper sticker, we would be glad to get those to you.
Is it a Ryan bumper sticker?
A Romney?
Ryan?
No, no, not that.
You had it face the wrong direction.
Well, that's because you have to stick it on something. You know, you can see it through there.
Oh, it's like a decal.
Through the window.
Here, I'll just put it on this. Sure they wouldn't mind, huh, so we can see it. Also, I didn't bring the packet today, but several months ago we had mentioned an American flag project for fourth graders, and what that entails is the Republican Federation has gotten together a program to take into elementary schools to do a little teaching on the American flag that is not evidently being done in schools right now. Now, this doesn't matter if it's a public school or a private school. We just need to get some information out to these kids, and there's a little booklet and all that they go through. They hadn't had a lot of success on the public school level at this point. Shelley Haddon with the Greenville County Republican Women is still working on this. But she asked me the other day if we would have any volunteers that would just make phone calls to the elementary schools and not actually have to go out. I think she'll be glad to do the running part, but if you could make some phone calls to the elementary schools, I can give you Shelley's number to help on that. That's about all I have right now. Donna, do you want to go ahead and introduce our speaker, or if you want to eat just a few minutes? There's nothing to eat yet, is there? So.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Pardon me?
You want us to go ahead? And
Okay, if that works for Paul.
Sure.
Okay. Well, come on up and introduce Paul then.
Thank you. And I know y'all also saw our newest little member out of the lobby. Pam was sending me pictures and stuff, and I said, Pam, that baby better be at one of our first meetings. And I think the first one was like 2 weeks after she was born, so she brought her this morning. And we had a wonderful shower at Mary Voss's home and had such a good time. It's nice to have young people in the group that are still having babies. So thank you so much for coming. And I said in 20 years from now, when she's 20, when she goes to the meeting, she can say that she's been a member for 20 years. And also, I want to thank Gary Smith. When he was at the Tea Party rally, he actually bought some jewelry from us. So he's not only an associate member, he has given to the pot, to the fund. So we really appreciate that, Gary. We were so impressed that you did that. And just to note, too, I want to thank Tom Hansen again. He has been so faithful to us. He had to be out for a little bit, but it's so nice, girls. If you look on the website, he really does a great job of keeping us updated. And if you miss the meeting, you can go right to the website and really catch up with it. He's been a very faithful photographer and videographer for us. Today, I count it a real privilege to introduce someone to you that has been a public servant in Greenville County. He has not just been a member of a county office, but he has actually served the public. And he has served the public in lots of different ways. He has been very involved with Rotary. He's been president of the Rotary, and I just joined the downtown Rotary, so I know what an obligation and a big time gift that is. He has also been, and he's an ex officio member of the Greenville County Bar Association. He also is the first Monday Advisory Committee. And if you guys don't attend that, that's the first Monday. And that is a large group, and he has been with that committee for a very long time, helping out Deb Sofield and Jill Kenty. So we appreciate that. He's also was passed for 15 years. He was on Greenville County Council and was a former council chairman. So he has not just taken an office, he has really put in his time to serve us and to serve our community. His honors include, he has received the Terry Haskins Memorial Award. He was South Carolina Clerk of Court in the year 2006. And the Liberty Bell Award he received, which is now the Paul B. Wickensimer Award. And I don't know what that is. I wish he would share that with us. So it's now named after him, presented by the Greenville County Bar Association. And he received that in 2010. But I know Paul Wickensimer as a friend. I've known him since college. We share some mutual friends. And just through the years, he's one of the most talented and yet one of the most humble people I have ever known. He is sincere, he is kind, he is respectful, he is thoughtful. If you've ever known him in any way, he's probably sent something to your home, he's thanked you for something, he's told you how much he appreciated you for something. He really is an amazing and wonderful person. And I would like to introduce to you my friend and your speaker, our Clerk of Court, Paul Wickensimer.
I feel like I just attended my own funeral. Thank you, Donna. That was very kind. I thought I'd start out with a couple stories here before I get going and tell you a little bit about our office and what goes on there. The first one was, I don't know if you heard about the two antennas that met on a roof. They fell in love and they got married. They said the ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was excellent. Another one I heard was an invisible man married an invisible woman. They said the children weren't much to look at either. So. Just two more, if you can just bear with me a little bit. Two Eskimos were sitting in a kayak. They were chilly. They decided to light a fire. It sank, proving that you can't have your kayak and heat it too. And the last one is change is inevitable except from a vending machine. So. But the business I'm in has changed a great deal over the last 12 years that I've been honored to serve as Clerk of Court for Greenville County. One thing that just came to mind, when I first started, after serving on County Council for several years, I got in the office and I thought, well, you know, I'm going to kind of get things organized here. And we had a supply closet that just was full of stuff, and so we were going through that closet to clean things out and to kind of get things organized and all. And I found that somebody brought me, there was a tube of something that was rolled up. It was a scroll that was in this tube, and they brought it to me and they said, do you want to keep this or throw it away? And so I I opened it up, and it was a certificate that was 100 years old from a clerk of court that actually served in Greenville County. And I thought, no, we want to keep that. So had it framed and was, real proud to have it displayed on the wall in the office. And I thought, 100 years old, that is really something. It was, I think Puritan was the person's name that served as clerk of court. But what was most interesting about that is on the back of the certificate was an actual pledge that he had signed after he was elected. And that pledge said that while he was in office, that he would not enter into any duels in Greenville County. So, what a difference 100 years makes. I haven't entered into any duels at all, and I've been there 12 years. So. But to tell you a little bit about what goes on in the clerk of court's office, I tell people that I hold the title as clerk of court, but I work with 85 dedicated people that really carry out the responsibilities of the clerk of court's office. So all the good they get the credit for, and all the bad I'll take the blame for. And I tell people I'm just the figurehead. They are actually the ones that do the work, and I think do the work really well. So, well, Paul, what does the clerk of court do? Of course, first thing that comes to mind is we work with the solicitor on a regular basis in the solicitor's office. We work with the public defender in his office. Work with a number of judges, and I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more as we go along. Greenville County has over 1,200 attorneys, too, so we have a lot of those folks coming through our doors on a regular basis as our customers, and of course the general public that comes through the door as well. We work with court administration in Columbia, and we work closely with the Greenville Bar Association. Donna had asked me about the Liberty Bell Award. I was summoned to a meeting of the Bar Association a few years ago, and they had an award. They give 2 awards each year, one to a lawyer and one to a non-lawyer. And so I was asked to attend to receive the Liberty Bell Award, and that was an award that they give each year to a non-lawyer that contributes to the legal system in the county. And so they introduced me and asked me to come up to receive the Liberty Bell Award. And no one was more surprised than I was when they said that we're renaming the award and calling it after me. So I just was literally speechless, and that was a great honor for me. But talk a little bit more about the office. We have in the office we have a division for civil records, where civil cases are filed and all the paperwork is done there and kept. We have a judgment area. We have a number of judgments that are filed each year. And I'm going to get into some statistics in a little while to give you some numbers to let you know how many of these documents are filed and so forth. But also we have criminal records at circuit court. The docket area, we have 2 people at circuit court that do nothing but schedule cases all day long. We have a jury coordinator and a non-jury coordinator. And they stay very busy scheduling cases for all the cases that are coming up at circuit court on a daily basis. We have a jury coordinator, too, that sends out all the jury summons for people. We had probably about 90 to 100 jurors that were in the jury assembly room this morning that I had a chance to welcome, and on a rainy Monday morning, and so they're summoned for jury service for the week. So we talk to those folks. We listen to all the excuses why they can't serve and stuff. And we could probably write a book about that too, but there's a lot of folks that come in for jury service, and of course folks that are over 65 can opt out of that, and then folks have to transfer one reason or another. They're going on vacation, so get a lot of calls about that. But we have a jury coordinator that keeps up with that, makes sure all the paperwork's done there, all the jurors are paid, and the duties are looked after when it comes to our jurors. We have an accounting area where all the fees and fines, money's collected. All the money that comes into the court system comes through our office. It could be restitution payment that's done. It could be a filing fee. It could be a condemnation case. Any kind of money that comes through the court system comes through our office, so that's a busy office as well. The bailiffs for the court, that's part of the clerk of court staff. Courtroom clerks, that's part of our staff. We have 8 courtrooms at circuit court, and those stay very busy. I think last week we had 7 out of 8 courtrooms that are scheduled with cases that went on there. We have 5 resident circuit court judges in Greenville County. We have a real estate judge, a master and equity judge that serves full-time in the county, as well as he operates drug court too. So any papers that are filed, any dockets that are set, any payments that are made, that all falls through the clerk of court's responsibility. As I mentioned, the circuit court judges that we have in Greenville County, their staff is a law clerk and an administrative assistant. So all the behind-the-scenes people at the courthouse fall under the clerk of court's purview. The deputies that are there, those fall under the sheriff, but the other folks that are there behind the scenes are part of the clerk of court staff. So we, of course, have a lot of folks that come through the door that have questions that they want to ask. They have copies of documents that they want. Maybe they have a criminal record and they want to take a look at that. All of that is something that the folks in our office help to take care of. So there's about 50 folks that work at circuit court on a daily basis to carry out those responsibilities. At family court, down next to County Square, it used to be the old movie theater that was converted several years ago to family court. I tell people on a clear day you can still smell the popcorn at family court, the smell of popcorn. But it's a very, very busy place. We have folks that come in, ask questions. Maybe they've been abused and they don't know where to go and they need some help, or they have questions about their child support or their alimony. That comes through the clerk of court's office. The docket area at family court is a very, very busy place. We have 3 people at family court that do nothing all day but schedule cases. The hearings at family court can be 15 minutes apart, or it could be a 2 or 3 day hearing depending on the complexity of the case. But those folks work very, very hard, and I'll give some statistics about that in a few minutes. An accounting area also at family court, busy place. Any child support or any monies that are collected at family court go through our accounting area there. Last year in Greenville County, we collected over $36 million of money that was paid through the court system here. And so what we do is we collect that money today. The next business day, we'll issue about 1,000 to 1,100 checks to disperse those funds for the recipients. And they are very grateful to get that money, and a lot of times they're living hand to mouth and they can't wait to get that check. And so we try to turn it around, get it in the mail to them the next business day. Again, file papers, image documents, and answer questions, collection of money. There's 33 people, or 35 people rather, at family court that are part of the clerk of court's office. Let me give you a few statistics too, just to kind of let you know how much goes on in the clerk of court's office. This is at family court, these statistics that I'll share with you. These are figures from 2011 for the full year. Last year we had 5,665 cases were filed at family court in Greenville County. These are domestic relations cases. Juvenile cases, we had almost 1,300 last year. Domestic abuse in Greenville County, there were 328 cases that were filed last year. Visitation contempt, 59. Hearing set, almost 8,800 cases that were filed last year in Greenville County. Juvenile cases heard, over 1,000. Abuse, neglect cases that were heard at family court last year, over 1,600. I mentioned that we collected $36 million last year. We issued 248,700 checks to send those funds to the recipients there. People that came through the door that had questions about family court issues, 15,600. Petitions that were filed last year through family court, 1,570. Contempt cases that were heard last year at family court, over 7,600. Bench warrants issued last year for people to be arrested, over 2,700. A lot goes on at family court. Circuit court. This is statistics for 2011. In the Court of Common Pleas last year, we had 5,227 cases that were filed. Jury trials, 28. Through that's civil cases. Jury trials through criminal court, 58. cases filed through common pleas last year, 8,700. We had judgments that were filed. If somebody files a judgment against you because of a bill that's not been paid, or maybe an insurance issue, or a hospital bill, or otherwise, last year we had over 6,200 judgments that were filed against individuals in Greenville County last year. We sent out over 7,500 jury summons last year. We had over 2,500 people serve on jury service last year. We have what we call in Greenville, and this is a statewide thing, it's ADR, and that stands for Alternate Dispute Resolution. And what that boils down to is mediation. Greenville was a pilot county a number of years ago and has continued to use mediation on a regular basis. What we use mediation for is on civil cases or family court cases that come up for trial, you need to attempt mediation before your case comes up for trial. You're not required to settle your case, but you're required to attempt mediation. And this helps out a lot of ways. It helps out the individuals that are involved because they have some way of deciding their fate on a case that is coming up for trial. And so what happens is you have a mediator on both sides. They sit down with you and they try to reach common ground so you can reach a decision on your own to settle the case without the judge actually deciding what the outcome is going to be. It helps a great deal. It saves a lot of court time, and as I say, it gives individuals an opportunity to decide what the fate is going to be on their case. Sometimes when your case goes before a judge or when it goes before a jury, you have no idea what's going to happen. But with mediation, you have some decision that what the outcome can be. So it's very helpful in a lot of ways. Greenville started out with that a number of years ago, and now it's being expanded across the state. There are a number of other counties that have implemented mediation in their county, and so we're working to see that done on a statewide basis, but it's been very helpful. Last year alone, we estimate the savings with ADR or mediation was $2.3 million that saved the court. And so that was it's probably about 216 court hours that were saved last year as a result of mediation in Greenville County. In criminal records last year, we processed over 12,000 indictments, and there were over 11,800 warrants that were entered into our system last year. So a lot goes on. A lot of people coming through the door, a lot of hurting people. And the folks that come in to see us generally don't want to come in and see us. It could be an adoption at family court, and people are excited about that. It could be a name change, and people can be excited about that goes through family court. But otherwise, most people that come through the door at family court or circuit court are not people that want to be there. So our folks have to have compassion. They have to be businesslike, that they can't offer legal advice, but they are there to provide service. And we say to the folks in the office on a regular basis that we want to treat people the way that we want to be treated. You know, when people come in the door, their breath might not be wonderful, what they're wearing might not be something that you would wear, the language that they use might not be something that you appreciate. But those people have definite needs, and we try to show compassion, and we try to make sure that their story is listened to, and we give them an opportunity to get the service that they require from their county office. So that's what we work so hard to do, and I think the folks that work with me have done a good job in doing that. So what has been important to our office for the last several years since I've been the clerk of court is technology. With the budgets being the way they are in local government, state government, and Gary certainly can attest to that, what we need to do is, instead of continuing to add more and more staff members, we need to work smarter with the staff members that we have, and that's what we've tried to do. And I know Tim Nanny and others in different offices have done the same thing. You know, they work smarter with what they have and use the resources that are there, and technology has helped us a great deal to accomplish that goal. When I first started, we did not image any documents, and so everything was paper, everything was filed, and I just had these fears that if something would happen, we'd have a fire or a flood at the courthouse, or a natural disaster came through, that all of our records would be wiped out. And lives are counting, people are counting on us to keep those records, and they mean so much, especially with child support. And so that's one thing that we implemented right away, was we imaged every document that comes through. So we do that on a daily basis now. Any case that's filed, we image that docket, and we keep track of that, and it's stored on a computer, and it's backed up through our computer system. And what we're doing at family court too is, because with family court, it's not just a case that you're looking at today. When there are children involved, those cases go back years and years and years. If it's a child support or custody issue, it's important for that minor child to have that paper copy backed up, or that document secure there, that can be kept over a period of years. So we're looking at an 18-year span to make sure that that information is available. So we image those documents, and we're going back, not only, as I say, we're imaging what comes in now, but we're going backwards when it comes to child support or issues relating to family court cases back 18 years. So about another year or so, we'll have met that goal, that we'll have gone back 18 years and scanned everything. So we'll no longer have to fear if something happens to that file, that information will be stored and will be backed up. We have online docket information to attorneys. Naturally, when an attorney is looking at their time for budgeting their time for next week, they'll want to see how the court docket looks, to see when their case looks like it's going to be coming up for trial. So we've made that available at circuit court as well as family court, and it's done on a routine basis. So all the docket is available to the attorneys on a daily basis, so they can look online and see when that case comes up. And it's a fluctuating thing too, because if a case settles, that drops off the docket, and that could move that case up even quicker. And so every time somebody settles a case, we update our information, and that information is available to attorneys so they can keep track and know when their time is going to be needed in court, and that's been very helpful. We've utilized video conferencing too at circuit court right now. Family court hasn't done this, but this allows people to have a case, a hearing before a judge via video conferencing. So it saves transportation costs, it saves security issues from coming up at the courthouse, and that's been very helpful. We've been a pilot county for a statewide case management system at circuit court. We worked with court administration for about 3 years on this to develop a system that could be used across South Carolina when it comes to handling cases and have them being input into a database. And so we were the first county, as I say, to implement that system, and that system now has been implemented across all 46 counties in South Carolina, and it's really been a plus. It's gave some standardization to what goes on in the clerk of court's office. Instead of dealing with different counties 46 different ways, we've been able to standardize many of the business processes that take place through circuit court. I think it's been very helpful there. We've automated our jury selection process. It used to be we would draw names out manually to see who's going to serve on a jury. Now that's done on an automated basis. When people check in on Monday to serve for jury service, we give them a name tag, and there's a barcode on that name tag, so we can scan their name into the computer system. That helps us to keep track of attendance, to know that they're there. It also helps us to keep track of the big paycheck that they get for serving on jury service. So we've automated that process too, and that's been very helpful in many ways to us by that process. We've automated our family court system too, so we have an automated system so you can call in to check to see if a payment has been made on your account. I mentioned earlier how dependent these folks are on their child support payments coming in. They just can't wait to see if that check has been received. And we get calls a lot from folks saying, I'm going to lose my house, I can't buy groceries, my children need money to go to the doctor. And so it's just so important for them to know when that check is going to be in the mail to them, so they can call in to our automated system. They can enter their number, and so we can give them an idea about when that check should be sent to them, when the payment was recorded, how much that payment was, so they'll have an idea of the money that's due to them. And it's amazing to look at the numbers on that just to see. I mean, a lot of people call in at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I think folks wake up in the middle of the night and they look to see, they call into the system to see if a payment's been recorded, because they just are in such need. And to give you an idea of the volume on that system, last year alone we had over 500,000 calls that came in through that automated system. So there's a lot of folks that are depending on us to help with that. We have a court index system that we've utilized too. This was along with our case management system. Maybe you're looking to hire somebody to do some work on your house, maybe a roofer, or maybe siding, or maybe even a person that you want to babysit your children. You can look online at the court index and find out, is there a criminal record there? Are there pending cases against this person? So that's been a real plus for the attorneys and the general public as well. And we've updated our website a good bit over the last few years too, and made more information available to the public there. We've provided frequently asked questions that I think are helpful to people that are trying to figure out what's going on in a legal system when they don't have any legal training, which is the case in many times of folks that can't afford to hire an attorney, but they really need some questions answered, and they need some direction, and that's been very helpful to our customers. One thing that we're looking at in a very near basis, and that is the idea of electronic filing. That is one of the biggest goals that I have for the office, is to have the ability to file cases electronically. That will help a great deal in many ways. It'll give 24/7 access to our customers to be able to file cases. If an attorney's gone on vacation on Saturday and maybe they were working late, on Friday night to try to get that case filed, they'll be able to file their case electronically, so that'll give access to the courthouse after 5 o'clock. If they have it to us by 11:59 p.m., it'll count that business day, so they'll be able to file their case that way. There's a lot of appeals cases too that have deadlines, and this will give our customers better access to the judicial system. And I'll say this, and Gary and the folks in Columbia were helpful to the Supreme Court by giving some money to the Judicial Department to help start the electronic filing process. And so some seed money has been allocated there through the state government. That money will be used to develop a system for South Carolina for electronic filing. It looks like that we're going to get to be a pilot for that. We were really excited about that as an opportunity. And once that system is developed and piloted, and we feel like the pilot will probably be ready next year, we'll be able to roll that out. And it'll mean so much to us. It'll be less visits to the courthouse by our customers. They won't have to drive around, try to find a place to park. They'll be able to file their documents, as I say, electronically. It's going to save a whole lot of paper, not only for the court, but also for the attorneys and general public that file their cases electronically. Postage, I'm sure the post office will suffer as a result of that. Not like they're not suffering already, right? But the space and attorneys' offices and our offices and just trying to keep up with these files, that'll help a great deal. It'll eliminate data entry that we do now. It'll eliminate opening the mail. This is really a task. You can't imagine the volume of mail that comes into our office. I mean, I feel sorry for the folks in civil records. If you go up there in the mornings when the mail comes in, they just get these big bins that come from the post office just full of mail. And they're opening these letters up and they're breaking their nails off by pulling out all these staples, because all these documents have to be imaged, and all the paper clips that are falling on the floor. And I mean, there's just, from the selfish side, there's a lot of things that will help us. along with the paper that's saved and the convenience that's there. Just imaging documents, we'll not need to do that anymore. So there's a lot of benefits to the court. I think there'll be a lot of benefits to our customers as a result of electronic filing. So this has been done on a federal basis. In fact, federal government generally isn't ahead on too many things, but they are ahead on electronic filing. On the federal basis, 100%. They're 100% electronic filing across the country now. And some states have started with electronic filing. There's not too many states that have gone statewide. There are pockets that have done that. But I think with our case management system that's been implemented in South Carolina, we'll be able to have an interface to that, and we'll be able to have a statewide system for electronic filing. And that's something that the Supreme Court has been very energetic about, is when it comes to technology. They've really made big changes in technology in our state when it comes to the court system. For a small rural type state, like we could be called by many states across the country, South Carolina has really made some progress when it comes to technology. And for that, we're grateful for their support and grateful for them making that happen, because that's made a big difference. When I first started, not all the counties had their own website. Not all of the clerks of court across the state even had a computer. And when I first started, we had a technology committee, and we divided up the state, Upstate, Midlands, and Low Country. And what we did is we took some of the smaller counties that couldn't afford a computer. We took surplus computers that we had left over that maybe were slow, that had been replaced. And we took those to counties that didn't have a computer, helped them develop a website, and helped them get going, because everything is done now by computer. It used to be that all the orders that came down from the court administration in Columbia, that was all done by paper. That's been eliminated. Any orders that the court would pass along, that is now done electronically. The website for the South Carolina Judicial Department wasn't even in existence 12 years ago, and now they get hundreds of thousands of inquiries per week on that website. So we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go. But, through all that, we still can't forget the people that we serve. The folks that come in through the door, they don't understand all the technology and they don't understand all the terms. But we still need to try to keep the compassion that's necessary for those folks. And, I often tell folks in the office that, to these folks that are coming into the door, their request might be routine to us. We might get hundreds of inquiries a week that are routine to us. But for these folks that are coming in the door, this is anything but routine. This is a life-changing experience, and they don't know where to go. They don't know where to start, and they're depending on us to care about them and provide compassion, but not practice law, because we're not allowed to do that. But we do need to answer their questions. We do need to give them a fair hearing, and that's what we attempt to do. So that's my story today, and I'm sticking to it. So.